think the way I overcome things is not by thinking of them as happening to me, but happening for me.
When Jennifer Lopez ended her marriage to Ben Affleck, headlines declared it a failure that could shake her career. Instead of fading away, she used that chapter as fuel for an extraordinary run of success. Watching that transformation made me realize how strength can rise out of public pain. This is the story of how Lopez, 1 year later, is thriving like never before. The turning point. Jennifer Lopez's separation from Ben Affleck became public when she filed for divorce on August 20th, 2024. This filing came after months of speculation in the press and marked exactly 2 years since their Georgia wedding in August 2022. The official papers listed April 26, 2024, as the date of separation, showing that problems had started earlier than the public realized. Their divorce was finalized in January 2025, drawing a clear line under one of Hollywood's most high-profile unions. What stands out is how Lopez chose to carry herself in this difficult period. According to an exclusive piece in People magazine, the source closest to her described her current state as very happy and grateful. That tone tells us something important about her outlook. Rather than staying in a space of sadness, she took ownership of her story. From my perspective, this shows how someone can redefine themselves instead of being defined by heartbreak, stepping back into spotlight immediately. Hardly any time passed before Lopez returned to the public stage. Her first significant appearance after the divorce filing came at the Toronto International Film Festival. She was there to promote Unstoppable, a wrestling biopic where she played a central role. The interesting detail is that Ben Affleck was credited as a producer on the same project, which added a striking layer of complexity. During press interviews, Lopez commented that the film dealt with complicated dynamics about life that I understand really well. That single sentence carried weight, almost like she was speaking beyond the screen. For many observers, the overlap between her personal experiences and the subject matter gave the event an added intensity. Rather than retreating from the spotlight, she chose to channel those emotions into her craft. Whether it was instinct or careful strategy, the result was the same. Her work became the stage on which she turned turmoil into creative expression. Awards and recognition pouring in. The beginning of 2025 brought validation from the industry. Lopez received the Legend and Groundbreaker Award at Variety's Creative Impact Awards in January. This honor recognized her work in Unstoppable, but also acknowledged her broader career, spanning decades in music, film, and performance. At a time when many assumed her energy would decline, she was instead standing on stage being honored for both resilience and artistry. The award showed that she was not simply surviving after a divorce, she was actively reaching new heights. As I see it, awards like this often mark not just past achievements, but a signal of even bigger chapters ahead. For Lopez, it was a reminder that setbacks do not erase years of dedication. They can, in fact, set the stage for a powerful return. This recognition highlighted her continued relevance and signaled the confidence the industry still has in her presence. Entering new artistic territory. Soon after, Lopez stepped into a role that she called the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. She starred in Kiss of the Spider-Woman, a movie musical that premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. This project stood out as it was her first performance in a feature-length musical, something she said she had waited her whole life to achieve. At 56, many artists look back on their past work, but Lopez was still moving forward into new territory. The context of this film makes it even more symbolic. It was filmed in 2024, at the same time her marriage to Affleck was breaking down. Now, with the movie set for an October 2025 release, it stands as a marker of transformation. What began during a turbulent personal year has emerged as an artistic breakthrough. By taking on a role that challenged her creatively, Lopez proved she was not only surviving, but reshaping her career. This willingness to push boundaries reinforced her resilience and showed clear evolution as both an actress and performer. The world tour that redefined her summer. Stages across Europe lit up as Jennifer Lopez launched her Up All Night tour on July 9th, 2025, in Gallor, Spain. Concert after concert carried her through Spanish cities, across other European stops, and finally to Sardinia, where the tour wrapped on August 12th. In the middle of all this activity, she turned 56, celebrating a milestone birthday while in the midst of thrilling live performances. What stood out most was the way she connected with her audience. A source told People magazine that Lopez was having the time of her life, and that she especially loved interacting with fans around the world. Those words match the energy fans described from the shows. The concerts were not just musical events, they felt like celebrations of resilience. When I watch performers like JLO on stage, I see more than music, I see healing happening in real time. Her joy was visible, and it seemed to fuel her audience as much as their applause fueled her. A packed slate of upcoming projects. The months following the tour remain just as eventful. On October 10, 2025, Jennifer Lopez's long-awaited movie musical, Kiss of the Spider-Woman, will arrive in theaters. Filmed during a turbulent chapter in her marriage, it now feels like a symbol of artistic triumph. Not long after, she will headline a Netflix romantic comedy titled Office Romance alongside Brett Goldstein of Ted Lasso. The ensemble includes Betty Gilpin, Tony Hale, Bradley Whitford, Amy Sedaris, and Jackie Sandberg, with Al Parker directing. Lopez shared her enthusiasm on Instagram, telling fans it would be a fun and heartfelt project. Another standout on her slate is The Last Mrs. Parrish, adapted from the best-selling novel by Liv Constantine. Lopez is both starring and producing, with Robert Zemeckis at the helm, signaling a production of major scale and ambition. Together, these projects show striking variety. From musicals to rom-coms to thrillers, Lopez is not just staying busy, she is carefully building a portfolio designed for long-term impact. Setting her mark in Las Vegas. Another milestone awaits her at the end of this year. Jennifer Lopez is preparing for a residency at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. The shows will begin on December 30th, 2025, and run through January 3rd, 2026, with additional dates already announced for March. A residency is more than just a series of concerts. In entertainment history, it often marks a moment when a performer becomes part of an institution, offering audiences a stable chance to experience their artistry without constant world touring. For Lopez, this step signals endurance and lasting power. It places her alongside legends who turned Vegas stages into career landmarks. The move shows she is not only a global touring artist, but also an established live performance icon, building consistency and prestige for years to come. 8. What her journey tells us. The past year shows the transformation of personal struggle into professional strength. Jennifer Lopez faced one of her hardest moments, yet she turned that period into the most productive stage of her recent career. Instead of withdrawing, she kept working, creating, and performing. While the media focused heavily on her relationship ending, Lopez herself focused on building her craft. That contrast is striking. She turned the headlines away from heartbreak toward her work ethic and achievements. What I observe here is a reminder that personal challenges do not have to define your future. They can fuel it. For anyone going through a major life shift, her story carries a lesson. Channel your energy into meaningful work, into passions that lift you up. That focus can provide stability and even joy when everything else feels uncertain. 1 year after divorce, Jennifer Lopez has delivered a world tour, new films, industry awards, and a Las Vegas residency announcement. Her story is not one of collapse, but of reinvention. What do you take away from her journey of resilience and growth? Share your thoughts in the comments and let me know what topic you would like to see covered in the next video.